Greetings from Kardec Radio, where we are bringing listeners another audiobook, this one entitled, Who is Afraid of Death?, written by Richard Simonetti. This 13th installment covers Chapter 24 entitled, Warnings from Beyond, and Chapter 25 entitled, Strange Cult. Enjoy. Chapter 24, Warnings from Beyond. Dr. Flavio Pinheiro, a dedicated Spiritist doctor from Ibitinga, a city in the state of Sao Paulo, came to me. Richard, I am here to invite you to a funeral duty. I want you to bless my soul through a prayer before the burying, and ask everybody not to disturb me with their moaning and sadness. Come on, doctor. You are not going to die so soon. You still have many debts to pay off. Yes, my dear friend, I am a big sinner. Nevertheless, I am going to disincarnate anyway. I must undergo a delicate and immediate cardiac surgery in the city of Sao Paulo, and I am sure that I am on my way to the spiritual world. In spite of condemning his pessimism, I agreed to fulfill his insistent request. A few days later, I was asked to do as I had promised. Dr. Flavio Pinheiro had died during the surgery. The wedding was going to be simple, no reception, only family members and a few friends. Among them, the young bride insisted on the presence of a very dear one, Caetano Aiello, an elderly spiritist from the city of Bauru. When is it going to be? Asked the guest. In 3 months. Oh, then I cannot make it. You're going to insult me? I will be mad at you. Your presence is indispensable. Cancel any other commitments. This commitment I cannot cancel, my dear. The people up there are giving me intuition that I will leave soon. 2 months later, Caetano Aiello, who did not have any health problems, got sick and in no time died. These are examples of premonition. The person feels a strong impression when something is about to happen, the first case, or feels warned about it, the second case. Just like many animals have mechanisms that allow them to feel a storm or an earthquake approaching, before any manifestation of it, there are people especially sensitive to future occurrences. This is instinctive in them. As regards death, premonition is frequently influenced by spiritual benefactors aiming at helping the person who will disincarnate and his family members. Though scary, it psychologically prepares those involved with the event, so they will not be taken by surprise or feel shocked about it. The premonition is especially comforting in the event of a tragic disincarnation, such as in traffic accidents. It makes it possible for the family to understand that nothing happens by chance, or even worse, unnecessarily. It was simply the fulfillment of divine wishes in the course of human trials. Chapter 25, Strange Cult. Hello, going for a walk? Yeah, I'm going to visit my son. What? Hasn't he died? I'm going to the cemetery. This surrealist dialogue frequently takes place. People visit dead persons in the cemetery. They take flowers and affectionately take care of the grave, the last dwelling. Certain religious cults even advise their followers to take food to the cemetery, and there is the traditional burning of candles to light the paths of beyond. At a certain time, in my childhood, some friends and I, naughty boys, went to the cemetery to steal candles to play with. When my grandmother, a very dear old Italian woman, learned about it, she, who was very zealous about religious traditions, collected them all, and after scolding me severely for my lack of respect, lit them on her porch. Candles for the intention of souls, she explained solemnly, have to be burned to the end. I thank the heavens above for her having given up the idea of making me go back to the cemetery during the night to give the lit candles back to their owners. With her typical generosity, she accepted the argument that it would be impossible to identify the exact graves from which they were taken. There are incredible misconceptions about this subject. Many people cannot fully grasp the idea that the eternal spirit follows its destiny in the spiritual world, leaving in the cemetery only the fleshy garment in decomposition. which means nothing to its individuality, the same way that a suit worn by a person is not the person himself. Visits to the cemetery are, therefore, an authentic cult for the corpse, which tends to disappear as the human creatures start to assimilate broader concepts about the spiritual life. It is necessary to emphasize that when we think too much about those who have left us, we are calling out to them, bringing them close to us. Thus, let us not transform the cemeteries into living rooms for the dead. There are nicer places for this contact, especially for the dead person. If he disincarnated recently and is not well suited to the new realities, he will not feel at ease in contemplating the remains of his flesh.